Have you ever watched a movie that made you reflect about life and rethink your life decisions? Soul is definitely one of them. It teaches us important life lessons. And I guess the best thing to learn here is that life is never always as it seems, and that we are just another person on Earth who doesn't have any idea on what we are really doing in life. Have you ever thought of that? We also take things for granted all the time that we tend to forget to live our lives day by day. And I guess that is the whole point of the story. We do not have any idea about life at all, and yet most of us prefer to always look at the negative aspects of life without really trying to understand how life works. Take 22, for example. She wasn't even born yet, and she never had any experience with life on Earth, but she already had the notion that Earth was just a waste of time. And then she met Joe, a man who seemed like a failure and had no direction in life, but was so eager to go back and continue with his life on Earth. How ironic, right? The one who doesn't really want to live gets a chance to have a life on Earth, while the one who wanted to live so bad fell and was thrown into the great beyond without the chance of getting a second chance at life. This is sad, but this is actually a truth that we often neglect. You see, there are some people who are dying, who want to live their lives longer, to spend more time with their loved ones and enjoy life to the fullest, but they aren't given that privilege. Meanwhile, there are some people who are lucky enough to live a longer and healthy life, but because of lack of self-understanding, they tend to lose their sense of direction and purpose. In this movie, we got to see what happened to the people who were in the zone, and the people who were lost. These are actually great terms to use to describe people who already found their spark and purpose, and people who couldn't find any direction in life because they kept on obsessing over things that are either unimportant or can no longer be changed at all. 22 didn't belong to any of those two because she didn't have any idea on what she really wanted to do. She had a chance at life, but because of her fear that she wasn't good enough and that she might not be able to find her purpose, she just set aside the possibility of life. How often in our lives did we feel that way? That we are so scared of trying something new, of experimenting, of seeing things in a new perspective. So in the end, we just decided to give it up. Sometimes we just let our anxieties and fears take control of our life, that we often miss the opportunity to live our life to the fullest. If 22 didn't meet Joe and accidentally fell on his body, what do you think would happen to her? Chances are, she would just continue dismissing her mentors and would end up staying at the U Academy for another decade. Imagine the time she had lost just because she allowed her fears and insecurities to eat her whole. Has this ever happened to you? Did you ever get the chance to get out of this scenario? I hope you did, because there are a lot of beautiful things this life has to offer. There are actually two things that we need to consider in order for us to have a healthy mental well-being: self-concept and self-understanding. Self-concept refers to the idea we have about ourselves, how we look, how we think, how others might see us, while self-understanding is all about being aware of who we really are, what we are capable of, as well as the ability to understand our own actions and behaviors. 22 had a negative self-concept, and as a result, she became dismissive of the possibilities of life and the possibility of self-understanding. It was only when she had the chance to live Joe's life for a few hours that she realized that she also had something to offer, and that finally she was ready to live. So, you see, it was a nice representation of someone who has a negative self-concept. Oftentimes, people who view themselves as not good enough or not worthy enough tend to shy away from all the opportunities being given to them. But once they change their mindset, the rest will follow, and a better life will be right in front of them. They will have the chance to find what will set their soul on fire, and they will realize their purpose. There was a quote from this movie that said a spark isn't a soul's purpose, and we must always remember that. Don't always look for your purpose on the things that you enjoy or the things that make you happy. Sometimes a spark and a purpose can come together as one, but oftentimes it is not the case. And this is where we tend to get lost in life. We think that just because we enjoy music, it is already our life purpose to play an instrument, or just because we love traveling, that it is our purpose to travel the world. Maybe it's true that these are your sparks, but perhaps your life purpose is to impart positivity through music or through travel stories. Only you can identify your spark and find your purpose. Check out one of our newest videos here. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more videos about your favorite Disney and Marvel characters and the psychology behind them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.